Hi, today I'm going to talk about how to duplicate a piece and the spur center. Somebody had a question about one of the spur centers I have, so we'll take a look at that too. But okay, we'll start with the duplicating, and obviously you can buy a duplicator that mounts on your lathe and has, you know, like a table leg over here, and has a guide that runs down that table leg in and out and for the beads and coves, and has a chisel that runs along with it. So if you were doing, you know, a lot of spindle turning like that, that would be something that would obviously help you out immensely and really save time. But I don't do a lot of duplicating, obviously. Pretty much every piece is a different size. So I use calipers, and it's just because that even when I'm doing boxes or something, every lid is different. I don't do the same thing. The Cryptex is the closest thing I've come to trying to match up stuff all the time. So this is great for that. If you're varying sizes on things all the time, a set of calipers is perfect. But if you're doing spindle work and wanted to get something the same every time, and you were doing 4 of them or whatever, table legs, something like just a basic wrench, it works perfectly. It's going to be the same, you know, it's not going to move on you. If you push on it too hard, it'll if it's not tight enough, it can tend to come out a little bit. Even that's tightened up, and it's still, you know, if you're pushing on it hard, it'll move a little bit. So something like a wrench is really handy. You could just come in with it. You want 7/8 right there. There you go. All right, so something like the wrench would be perfect. So you have your diameter set for your cove right there, and you can just go along and duplicate that right there. And wrenches come in, you know, a variety of different sizes, and you can get a set of cheap ones just for doing stuff like this. And you know, they're not very much. There's a couple other ways to do it. Just measure out what you want. If you want a bead up here and then your cove down here, you can do that, measure along it. There's also, you can make your own duplicator too, and have it hooked off the side. And I'm not going to make one but I'll show you how it works. You would have a bar. Let me get in camera here. So you would have a piece of wood back here with another piece of wood hanging off of it, just with a string. And that works perfectly. So you'd have a string strung across the back side of your lathe back here with some dowels in it. You probably look online, and there's probably a lot of different styles of this, but this would be pretty easy. So the dowel or whatever, just little piece of wood, would just rest on your workpiece. And I'll try and do this. So it would just be sitting there, and you want to cove right here. When you get down to the diameter, it falls through, just like that. So you would set them up, so you would have several little dowels or pieces of wood along here, and each one of them would be, you know, whatever size you wanted, in different sizes, and you just cut in until they drop through, which is a simple and cheap way to do it. And I think I've seen some that they're hooked onto a string, so they just kind of flop, which is the easy way to do it. And then you can go along and do each of your table legs or whatever the same, and they would just pop through, and you would have your diameter. And you can do that on, you know, the top of your beads. You can do it on the bottom of the cove. So whatever you want to do. Okay, so here are the 2 spur centers I have. This one mounts in my chuck. You can see where it comes in on the ring right there. It's nice, handy. I use it a lot. You probably see me throw it in there all the time, but it doesn't really bite that well. You can see it's actually almost round on the inside. So if the wood's a little bit soft and you're cutting into it, it just starts to spin. It just doesn't have the bite something like this does. You can see, I mean, that's got a good 1/4 of an inch where it digs into the wood. So if they made one of these with these teeth on it, it would be much better. But somebody wanted to buy one of these, and I told them it probably just go with one of these. It just doesn't, especially if you're doing softwood or green wood, it's you're not gonna be happy with it. It keeps spinning on me all the time. But it's handy, and I throw it in there every once in a while anyway because I don't want to take the chuck off. So there we go. I hope that helped. But I definitely would get one like this that has some bite to it. All right. So I hope that helped. And like I said, with a quick search of either YouTube or just the web, you probably find some great diagrams and drawings of how to make one, and they're cheap. But if you're doing a lot of work, then maybe look into a duplicator. But if you just want, if you want all your coves to be the same, the wrench is perfect. They don't wear out. They're cheap. So I hope that helped. And thanks for watching. And don't forget to subscribe.